Yeah, that big Thanksgiving feast will be here before we know it. So to help out with some of the do's and don'ts around that big meal, of course, we've got to bring in etiquette expert Diane Gottsman, who has quickly set a beautiful little mini table. She can do that in about 30 seconds. I mean, you could have even gone faster. We were telling you got time.
That's stressful.
Yeah, okay.
So if you're hosting, you're here to help us set the table.
Yes.
Figure out what we need to do ahead of time.
So to set the table, we need to know how to set the table. So if you're wondering where your water glass goes and your bread plate, you just make a B and a D.
Oh, right.
And if you're a guest and you don't know which is your water glass or bread plate, your bread is always on the left. And your D, drink, is always on the right. So bread, drink.
Yes.
Don't do it above the table. Do it below the table.
Below the table. What are you doing down there?
No, but this is great for kids.
Yeah.
You know, so if you want to teach children just tiny little tips, and again, it's age appropriate, B and D.
That's a really great time to teach them, not so much for the dinner with the family, but they can take that information when they get out in the world.
This is everything we talk about today is just in life.
Okay.
And you know, that's why women should avoid hanging their purse on the back of a chair. When you go to someone's home, you're not going to carry around your purse. But if you're at a restaurant, and again, this is just across the board in life, you don't want to hang your purse on the back of a chair because at a restaurant, the server or a fellow guest is going to knock it down and possibly trip them.
Yeah.
Same with ties. You want to make sure your tie, men. Now, this has nothing, it's not comparable, but you make sure your tie is down, not thrown over your shoulder. These are little tips.
What about when you're eating spaghetti, though?
You got to be careful, Shields. You got to be careful.
Put the bib on then.
Yes. And you want to make sure to not move your place card around. If someone puts you at the table next to Zach, you don't want to take your little place card, Amanda, and move it by Lauren.
I want to next to Zach.
So just stay where your place card is placed because that's really important.
Let me ask, if there really is an issue with that and you just can't get over, do you pull like the host to the side, or you shouldn't even do that? I'm just asking.
Well, if you
obviously you don't want to make a big scene of it out there.
If you don't care for that person,
like, listen, I think it really would be better. How do you?
You do it discreetly.
Right. Yeah.
You do it discreetly.
Slip them a 20 or something.
I mean, hopefully that's not happening in most of these get-togethers, but maybe sometime it is. All right, what about the cell phone etiquette, sort of a newer factor in the last 10, 15 years?
You know, it's just common sense. You don't bring it to the table. You don't bring your cell phone to the table, and you're not texting under the table. Now, some moms and dads may say, well, what about the kids? Can I give them the cell phone so they can play games at the table? And I think that no. You know, the answer is no.
Especially at Thanksgiving.
Of course.
It's time to be with family
You hear that,
friends.
Dave? You hear that?
Until everybody
And that's why you plan for the kids as well. You know, so you plan a kids' table and some things for the kids to do.
Yeah.
So it should be invisible. Cell phone is invisible.
Yeah, I should go without saying it, that one. All right.
Yes, wait for the host to be
host.
seated. So if you are a guest, you always wait for the host to be seated before you even touch your napkin, you make your tea, you do anything. Because, number one, your host may want to change things around. Number two, it's just polite and it's courteous.
Right.
But if the host says, please begin, then you start.
That's the green light, okay.
Yes, that's the green light.
So you look up expectantly at the host,
and you
hoping
need
to get that go.
Yes. And then you need to know what to do with your napkin once it's time for the napkin. You do not use that napkin to blow your nose or to put gristle in or to do anything other than wipe your mouth.
What do you do with that? The gristle?
The gristle, well, you want to know? You take it out with your index finger and thumb.
And you put it in your pocket?
No, you don't put it in your pocket. No.
And you're one of these
Where's the dog? Where's the dog?
It's sort of Seinfeld where he kept putting the mud in the side.
And you put it discreetly someplace on the plate. There is no good way to get rid of that gristle.
No,
so
there's
just try and swallow it.
And the napkin?
no.
Where do you leave the napkin when you get? I learned that from you a year or so ago. I never knew that.
You put it on the seat and you push your chair in, and then at the end of the meal it goes back up on the table.
But not on the table when you have to go away in the middle of the meal.
And you do not ask for any spices. You don't ask for anything until you've tasted it. You wait for the host because they may or may not have a welcome toast. And guess what? You don't clink glasses. It's not necessary to clink, clink, clink.
That's right.
And you all know this because we've talked about this before.
I forgot.
But yes. Now, if somebody clinks you, you don't refuse a clink. You don't.
You recoil and no.
Back away.
Diane said not to clink.
Got to leverage back.
That would be bad. That would be like refusing a handshake.
But it's nicer though because you don't feel have to knock people around all over the table. You can just stay where you are and not do
break
anything.
someone's glass.
Right.
You can potentially break one of their fine glasses. Again, no A1 sauce, no ketchup, nothing. You don't ask for anything unless they put it on the table. And they're not going to do that at a holiday meal.
I like to put A1 on the turkey. Where you have an A1 back in the fridge. How about this one? Don't tell. I'd like to propose a toast to myself. I don't know how many of you had of the glasses of whatever's in there.
So if I propose a toast and I say your name, so I'd like to propose a
How
toast
about old
to
Dave over here? Who's with me? Clink it.
Dave is going to drop his glass because you don't toast yourself. So if your name is mentioned, then you put your glass down because that's the same as clapping to yourself or patting yourself on the back.
And so
if I say I want to propose a
yourself is even
toast
next
to
level.
Amanda,
I put my glass
you
down.
put it down. Yes,
no idea.
I'd be like, oh yeah.
We're never
That
getting
would
invited.
You cut one piece of food at a time. Do not cut it all
plan
up.
out the
And
meal.
you never cut spaghetti, Zach. You always twirl spaghetti. That's just
What
for
about
you.
getting the tie? You got to keep it down. You got to cut it up then, right?
And when you cut, you glide the knife behind the fork. Don't hold it like you're stabbing it, and use the fork in front of the knife. And you know, there's just so many things. And then you always give a treat at the end. And you have, so here's, I love this bag. It's such a go bag. But you don't bring your own to-go bag. There's nothing in it. This
Fill
is
it
just
up.
a prop. Give them a nice cookie, give them a nice treat. I like to write a note before they get there and hand it to them when they leave, saying
that's
something
nice.
special.
Wow, you are
that they
such a
need.
toast,
Diane.
Because that's what I do.
That's next level.
Or a scorecard saying
Very
you
thoughtful.
violated about 4 things on here.
There you go.
That's how you did.
We need to clean that up before 2019.
B-.
But I'm grateful for you.
Yeah. No, it's great, and it's good because this is just getting things started. You know, we got that holiday season coming up for the next 6 weeks after. So
Yes.
get ready for Thanksgiving. All right, great stuff as always, Diane. We appreciate it.